People do not fear God. Fear itself is God. Hello and welcome to One Piece 101, the series that breaks down everyone and everything in the One Piece world. Today we're taking a step back in time in the grand scheme of things to one of the earlier fan favourite villains, Enel, the man with the biggest god complex ever seen, possibly in literature. Enel was born on the sky island of Burka in the White Sea, which resides 10,000 meters above the Blue Sea of the Grand Line. At some stage during his time there, Enel consumed the Goro Goro no Mi, Goro Goro being the Japanese onomatopoeia for thunder rumbling. So I guess you could call it the Rumble Rumble fruit, but it doesn't make it sound nearly as terrifying as it should be. The Goro Goro no Mi is a Logia-type fruit that allows the user to conjure, manipulate, and become lightning. If that sounds entirely broken to you, that's because it is. The fruit was even mentioned to have a reputation of being invincible by Nico Robin. And by and large, that reputation does not disappoint. With the power of this fruit, Enel destroyed his home island of Burka and sailed to Skypiea, overthrowing Garn Fall, the then god of the island. Enel then took the title of god, quite literally. As a result of his power, Enel genuinely believes that he is a god, and as happens when you believe you are an immortal member of divinity, he grants himself the authority to do whatever he pleases to anyone or anything. To make matters worse, Enel happens to naturally possess an incredibly powerful level of observation haki, known to the Sky Island residents as mantra. This allows him to predict his opponent's movements in advance, sort of like seeing into the future for a brief moment. It's not hard to see why he considered himself a god, with this combination of two absolutely hacked abilities. After installing his dictatorship on Skypiea, Enel mainly led a life of hedonism, when not using his time for punishing those for perceived heresy. That is until the Straw Hat Pirates arrived on Sky Island, and despite Enel's show of power, they resolved to take him down. At the same time, an indigenous and persecuted tribe known as the Shandians planned to attack Enel and his forces to reclaim their land. Enel used this opportunity to construct a survival game, using the area of Upper Yard as the arena. At the beginning of the game, he made a prediction that only 5 people, including himself, would survive. And so began a 3-way battle between his god's militia, the Shandian tribe, and the Straw Hat Pirates. Everybody unlucky enough to encounter Enel himself was dispatched instantly through one of his lightning strikes, which on average held the power of millions of volts. This includes the Straw Hat Pirate members Usopp and Sanji. By the end of the game, 6 survivors remained, comprising of Enel himself, Zoro, Robin, Garn Fall, Wiper, and Nami. It should be noted that Luffy also remained, however Enel was unable to sense him due to him being stuck inside a giant snake, which is a story for another time. Enel threateningly claimed the god's prediction could not be wrong, and posited the question as to who would need to be dispatched. In unison, all of the survivors claimed that it would be Enel, as they began a final battle. Enel struck them down one by one with a single hit, with the exception of Zoro, who managed to tank 2 hits before being defeated. However, Enel had still received no physical damage or any challenge whatsoever, until of course he met Luffy. Now, Luffy of course is made of rubber as the result of his devil fruit, making him the perfect counter to an electricity-based power. This forced what is now known as the Enel face into existence. According to Akira Oda, this is the face a person makes when they come face to face with their natural counter. It soon became apparent that Enel had relied on his fruit power far too much and never bothered to actually physically train himself. Every hit Luffy landed struck hard, and were it not for Enel's advanced observation haki, the fight would have been over almost as instantly, as Enel is actually used to beating other people. Enel was able to stall Luffy by melting a giant ball of gold onto his hand, and began to implement his plan to destroy Skypiea. His reasoning being that he, as a god, wanted to retain control of the skies, and all other beings should be living on the earth below. With Nami's help, Luffy was given one last chance to defeat Enel, which he did, with the very gold Enel had crafted onto his hand. His final devastating attack, the Golden Rifle, plowed straight through Enel in his strongest form, defeating him and thwarting his plans. This didn't kill Enel, and he recovered in time. However, he'd lost all interest in the world below and destroying Skypiea. Instead, he decided to fly to the moon. Yep, not kidding there. He literally flew to the moon. Or one of the moons, I should say. As he became the first known character in One Piece to travel into outer space, his adventures were detailed in a cover story where he encountered a robot race and some space pirates. as well as ancient moon hieroglyphics depicting what is theorized to be the location of the ancient weapon Uranus. By the end of the story, Enel became the new leader of the space robots, and that's the last we've seen of him, or anything to do with outer space for now. Some more fun facts about Enel. As Enel was never active on the Blue Sea, the world government doesn't know he exists. However, according to Akira Oda, if Enel had been a pirate on the Blue Sea, his bounty would have been 500 million berries. In retrospect, Enel is the first major antagonist in the series to have used Haki against the Straw Hats in battle. Although he was born on a sky island, he does not possess the wings that the rest of his tribe have, instead opting to have drums spurting from his back. Furthermore, these drums match the appearance of Raijin, the Japanese thunder god. And speaking of appearance, while this was never directly said by Oda, there is a popular theory that Enel's character design was based on the rapper Eminem. This theory is based on Oda admitting that he enjoys Eminem's music in an SBS, as well as the fact that many other One Piece characters are based on real-life figures. And that about does it for our favourite Thunder God complex for now, as we eagerly await our Messiah's return to this world. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, favourite, or subscribe. And please do comment with who, what, or where you'd like to see featured in the next One Piece 101.